Day you've given us, Lord, another day of life, Lord. Lord God, when we all were gathered here today, Lord, to discuss business, Lord, we want to be pleasing to thee. Lord, we pray for our administrators, special prayer for our superintendent with healing. We want to thank you for the successful operation on Jamie, Lord. Just thank you for that. Lord God, all the teachers, we pray for them. Lord God, we pray for this board too. We pray for ourselves as well. Lord God, may we be about the kids, may we be fair, and may we be just, and whatever we do, please in thy sight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, you have the agenda before you, and we have no additions to make, so I recommend that you will approve the agenda for the July 21st first board meeting.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item D, approve the minutes.
Okay, before you, you have minutes for July the 1st, July the 14th, June 1st, June 14th, and June 24th. And we've read over those, and so if you don't have any questions, I would recommend that we approve the minutes as printed.
Have a motion to accept the approval of the minutes.
I made that motion.
Second.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Next is approved payroll.
Okay, at this time, Ms. CSFO, Ms. Shirley will present the payroll.
All right, payroll for the month of June in general fund was $1,457,904.14. Payroll had a payroll of $158,831.83, and child nutrition had a payroll of $89,321.88, for a total payroll for the month of $1,706,057.85, and funds for the appropriate accounts to pay payroll.
Okay, you've heard the financial, payroll report. Have a motion to accept it.
Yes, I motion that we would accept the numbers that our CFO secretary presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Next, we move to no community group. We will move to report number 3, finance.
And at this time, Ms. Shirley will cover the finances.
All right, in your package that we sent out, I believe yesterday, you have a copy of our financial statements for June, the status for bank reconciliation. All of central office have been reconciled, and all of local schools have been reconciled and imported. Our cash balances at the end of June are as follows. The general fund was at $2,912,132.39. The bond proceeds is at $440,177.92. QSI balances remain the same. Our capital allocation, as y'all know, we got partial allocation during the month of June, and we'll get the rest toward the end of the fiscal year. And it's at $770,036.93. The capital CD has remained the same. Our debt service fund has gone up only by the amount of its allocation. If you remember, that's where we pay our bus fees once a year. So it's at $339,988.99. Child nutrition had a balance in May. We did have the May balance because they had some technical issues. It was at $24,218.46. And as of June, the end of June, it's at $14,011.91. Federal programs had a cash balance of $86,247.78. And then local school had a combined balance of public and non-public funds of $984,486.03. During the month, we printed approximately 148 big checks, accounts payable checks, for a total of $405,952.16, which you have a listing of. Also in your package is all the principals' reports from the local schools.
Heard the financial report. Motion to accept these.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
One opposed. Next, we're on the just as well Pickens summary.
Yes, at this time, Miss Gill, Miss Alicia Gill, Miss Ball, Miss Anissa Ball, and then Miss Jaleesa Gill. And I don't think you've met Miss Jaleesa Gill. She's our mental health coordinator, and they are working with some people in the community, so they're gonna come and tell you about the summit. And we hope that maybe you all can attend if you're free on that day.
Good morning. Okay, so Superintendent has really recognized the need for us to expand mental health resources in our schools because we do know of some of the effects that the COVID-19 has revealed and some of the disparities it has shown us being in a rural community of the needs of our children and their families. So what we've come together, the State Department has afforded us an opportunity to have a mental health service coordinator. Part of her job is to review each area in Pickens County and identify community resources where when children and families are having problems in the school that they can connect those families with those resources. And what we found was we did not have a lot of resources here in Pickens County. So what we had to do was go find the resources, bring them to Pickens County, and these community agencies were willing to partner with Pickens County to fill in some of our gaps. So out of this has grown a big partnership, I would say, that will now put not only our faculty, staff, students, and families in contact, but it will also put our community as a whole in a better place to address some of the unmet mental health needs that we have here in Pickens County. We have Children's of Alabama, we have, and inside of Children's of Alabama, there are about 5 departments that have partnered with us to address different needs: child and sexual abuse, drug abuse, just regular anxiety, depression, social emotional learning. Then we have the adult side where we have the support for our faculty and staff, professional development, large, well, I'm not gonna say a large, but at least 4 to 5 professionals in our schools have been first aid mental health trained out of this. Some people got mental health training at our mega conference. So basically what we're going to do is kind of do a back to school rally. It's called Just Be Well Pickens. It's not just the part focusing on mental health, but it's the whole component of what is it that our community needs, and it's going to be spearheaded by the school system, just addressing some of those needs that are beyond the scope and sequence of our classroom. You know, we do have the smart clinics in our Carrollton, Reform, and Gordo schools, and we have the Watley Health Services in Gordo. So that's one portion of being well. You know, we have our child nutrition program. That's one portion of being well. We have mental health services. Now we have them in the school. One of our biggest issues when we met was transportation. So part of our goal is to remove barriers that families face as to why they're not getting the services they need. So we know we can make the child come to school. We know we can send the bus to the school. Now, once they get to school, while they're at school, we want to try to make sure that the available services that they need in and out of school can come to the school to serve that child, and they never have to leave school. And the parents won't have to worry about, well, I know my child needs this. I just don't have the means to get it to them. And in some instances, there are some additional resources because we're working with DHR for parents and family, because sometimes we have parents that don't understand some of the things that their children are going through, and they need educating and they need support in order to support their children. So we're trying to work on the whole child, and I'm trying to make this very quick and to the point. But basically, What we're doing is gonna develop into MTSS, and it's a multi-tier student support system, which will also go along with what we do every day for instruction, which is our RTI, which is response to instruction, but it's really taking an in-depth look of those outlier behaviors that are beyond the scope and sequence of what a teacher could actually do in a classroom and help address the whole child, the whole situation, so they are so giving our kids a better shot at being more successful in education.
And so what we're going to do, like she said, is we're gonna have that back to school rally on August 5th. Where we were talking about having it at the service center in Carrollton, but yesterday Mr. Chapman mentioned maybe we can have it at the career center, but we haven't talked to Mr. McDaniel yet to see if that can work. But the plan right now is to have it at the service center on August 5th. From 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And on that day, what we'll be doing is we'll have each one of the agencies to set up a table, and those agencies will have different pamphlets or brochures talking about what it is, what kind of services they can provide for our students and our families in Pickens County, because a lot of people don't know about the resources that we have available. So they're gonna provide pamphlets. They're gonna give them little prizes or what have you. We're going to give away book bags. Each one of the agencies have agreed to come up with a certain number of book bags, so we're gonna give away book bags. Children's of Alabama and Mr. Rodney Shammer, I don't know if you know him or not, but they're getting with some churches in the community to try to get some refreshments prepared. So they're gonna provide like hot dogs and chips and drinks and waters on that day. So we're expecting everybody from all across Pickens County to come in. The Children's of Alabama, I think they're gonna give away booster seats to some of the parents. So we're gonna have like a door prize kind of thing. So we're trying to make it pretty big because we want whole Pickens County to come, because it's not just, you know, Carrollton or Reform or Gord or Alliston. We want the whole community to come. So that's why we decided on a central location. And Children's of Alabama is also providing us with an opportunity. Help me say the man's name, Mike, what? Luckenkirchen. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wiggins. So they're providing an opportunity for our children to hear him speak. So that morning, Mr. Luckenkirchen is going to speak to our athletes and our cheerleaders and our band members that morning, and then that afternoon we're going to do the back to school rally. So we're trying to make that whole day big for Pickens County. So we need you all to spread the word as well. So it's gonna be a Just Be Well Pickens County all over, a better you, a better school, and a better community overall. So we're trying to make that day big, and we just invite you all and anybody else to come so that we can try to be well in Pickens.
Thank you. Just one thing, I think Ms. Gill accidentally said that Watley was in Gordo, but for the record, it's out. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank y'all. Ms.
Ms. Gill?
I mean, they basically covered everything, so.
What is your role?
I'm the mental health coordinator, so I go to all of the schools, make contact with all the children, just service them for if they have depression, anxiety, just to be the extra support for the teachers and counselors, for the children that's dealing with mental health issues.
Glad to have you on board.
Amen.
This sounds great. I appreciate the work y'all do and inviting us. Mr. Luckenkirchen's son plays right in all. Equal billing, his daughter is in sports at Alabama. So, but he is a great speaker. I've heard it before.
He said he's gonna try to bring an athlete or two from Auburn and from Alabama, so the students can, have a chance to meet and talk with them as well, so.
Thank y'all so much. This sounds great.
Thank you, guys. They're working really hard on that, and we appreciate it, greatly appreciate it. Okay, our
Other business on the board, my back then.
Good morning.
good morning.
I think you approved before to let the bid out for the HVAC and some upgrades to the gym, I think at Pickens County, and we got those bids in. So I was gonna share, that the bid for that, the low bid was $1,170,000 from Eagle Pro Construction, for those. $1,170,000. And you're gonna make a recommendation. You, do y'all have any questions about that?
Where do you go out of?
There are most shows. The other bid was like $1,233,400. There were only two bids submitted. This was Fraser Owsley. I think I'm saying that right. Fraser Owsley. I'm not sure where they were out of, but there were only two bidders for it.
Is that, that include 3 gyms or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you if you don't mind, why the bid change so different? You know, the price change different.
You talking about for the difference here?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know initially, I think, you know, we may have been thinking that this was gonna come in a little lower than it is, but you know how they're still having the same issue with materials and things like that going up. I mean, even after this, if y'all approve this, it's still gonna be several months. If they order now, to even be able to get the unit. So we're talking about, you know, it's supply and demand, and there's so many things that's behind, and the prices are going up. So, I mean, that's as much as I know about, you know, the difference in the price. Really, those two are not too far off. Those two bids are not too far off of each other, you know, so they were close to what, they were not far apart. It's just expensive right now. That's just the way materials are.
So no chance we have really season, right?
No, well, they feel like they can go ahead and do some duct work, but we don't want to interrupt being able to use the gym for basketball. So it's probably going to be, I would say, December or after, before able to actually put the units in, just because once they, you know, we have us having to go through the architect and everything, they're going to have to order those units, and it's going to be a while before we get those.
Just don't have to go to the state, I don't have to do all that, so it'll be
Yeah.
a while before we.
Any other questions?
Okay,
Do I have a motion to approve this bid?
I need to make the recommendation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
At this time, I recommend that you approve the bid that Mr. Mullinex explained to you guys.
For the recommendation, do I have a motion?
I saw the motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Not opposed. Next is the water agreement.
Okay, I talked with Mr. Ward yesterday. We talked a couple of times about this, and you all know the contractual information or the concerns we've had. So we thought we might meet this week, but their attorney has not gotten back with us, but we just wanted to, we're gonna try to meet next week. I think next Thursday or next Friday may be our date if the attorney gets back with us. But we just want you to be in agreement that we can try to work through those contract agreements and get that resolved. So I just make that motion that we be able to work with the attorneys from Watley and our attorney to bring some resolution to the situation in Aliceville, because they need the clinic just as everybody else needs the clinic.
You've heard the recommendation that look out this agreement. I have a motion.
I make that motion.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Not opposed. Move on to the board meeting calendar.
Okay, before you have a proposed calendar for this year's meetings for the 2022 year. And all I did was I went through, I kept the dates pretty much the same as they were, just depending on where they fell. We usually have a Monday and a Wednesday meeting. And you know that we start going to the schools in January, and we will work out which schools we will actually be going to. We kind of rotate that. but I recommend that we approve the board calendar with the correction of May 16th at the bottom as 2022 and June 24th as 2022. So that is my motion.
You've heard the recommendation, have a motion to approve this calendar. Any questions or discussion on this? Not all in favor, say aye. Next, is all board meeting, all
Okay, Ms. Shirley and I have been working on the amended budget for Title I and Title II, all the budgets, and we just have not gotten that finished. We met with Mr. Chapman. He did come down yesterday for a couple of hours, and we were able to work through some things. But we would like to have a call board meeting around the first month and week in August. If you can look at your calendars and decide what date works for you. Now, in August, our teachers come back on the 4th. So we would actually like to have it on the 2nd or the 3rd. It doesn't matter if it's at 9 or if it's at 6, whatever is best for your calendar. But we really need to have one. That will be a Monday and a Tuesday. Now, if it's at 6, I can do any day if you're saying it's going to be at 6 o'clock. Okay, so if we go 6, what day, Jennifer, do you have your calendar? So we can do it the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. What's best for you all? If we say the 4th or Jean, you seem to have a problem with Monday and Tuesday.
I'm not retired, working, it works, especially Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, July, Thursday, Friday. I think that, we do it at 6 o'clock.
But what day on Wednesday, since you said it's a little lighter?
Thursday.
Well, you got, yeah.
Tuesday.
So the 3rd?
Or Monday, whatever. The rest of y'all want to do 6 o'clock, Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. So let's say maybe the 2nd. Okay, so my recommendation is that we have a board meeting on August the 2nd to approve basically the budget, but I'm sure we will still have some personnel that we need to get approved as well. Yes, the amendment, yes. So I make the motion that we have a call board meeting on August the 2nd at 6 o'clock here at the central office. Well, I'd like you to act that.
recommendation.
I made that motion.
And I second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Next, personnel.
We really need to go into executive session for this because we have a number of things to discuss as well as zone variances. So I certified that we need to go into executive session to discuss personnel as well as legal information and zone variances.
Have a motion, have a second. All in favor of the executive session, say aye.
All right.
We'll adjourn for executive
Yeah.
session.
Thank you. We're going to go back here in this room.
It helps if you
What'd you say, baby?
it helps if you left click instead of right click.